All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Thursday, July 8th. What are we talking about today? Well, we are going to talk about the 30th anniversary of this band's record. We're talking Dream Theater. I don't know how many of you are going to be Dream Theater fans out there, but they're a pretty big deal. And this record was a pretty big deal as well. And this could be very easily a Octane Friday topic, but I already have a topic for Octane Friday, and the anniversary of this record was yesterday, so we're covering it today. So you're welcome if you're a fan of metal, especially this kind of metal, which is progressive metal. Yes, another prog metal band. What do we got to say about them? All right, Dream Theater. These guys were at the Berklee College of Music in Boston in 1985. They formed a band called Majesty, decided to quit and basically do that as a living. And when they quit and dropped out, they renamed their band Dream Theater. They had some lineup changes over the years, and some of the core. I mean, the singer has been there since 91, but there was, the typical lineup changes. The name Mike Portnoy, you might know, he is the drummer. He left them in 2010. The vocalist is James Labrie, and again, same vocalist since 1991. This band has 14 studio albums, people. There's a lot of music. I am not going to pretend to be an expert on Dream Theater. I am not. I can tell you about this record, but I can tell you that I do not know much about the rest of their albums, and I know there are fans out there who are going to be like, oh, that's the tip of the iceberg, Mark. So if you're out there, you can educate me. But again, for our purposes, it's July 7th, 1992. This second record was released called Images and Words, and it's their most commercially successful album. It had their only single that ever charted in the top 10, charted anywhere. And this was, again, a pretty big deal. And I was working at Music Outlet when this happened, and that's how I heard this band. And it was a big deal then, selling out CD after CD after CD. So they lost their lead singer after the first album, and they auditioned 200 singers, and emerging from that was James Labrie. So this is the first album featuring him on it. Once he signed, they got signed to Atco to a 7-album deal. That's a pretty big deal right there. 7 albums? That's a lot. I'd say they got their money's worth. This record, again, prog metal. So some of the songs, they're longer. A lot of instrumentation out there. A lot of good stuff on here, and his vocals are just amazing. There's samples on this record, samples from Frank Zappa, Curtis Blow, Public Enemy. I mean, they do a lot of stuff here. The album was praised by critics. Fans loved it. In 2013, Loudwire fans voted it the #1 metal album of all time. A dubious claim, if you ask me. But, I mean, that's a hard one to do. But that just shows you how much people love this record. There's songs on here like Another Day, Metropolis, Under a Glass Moon, Surrounded. These are all ones that you can check out the whole album basically and listen to. But the song that we're talking about is Pull Me Under. Again, the only top 10 song they ever had, but Pull Me Under is the song I heard for the first time that I was like, wow, check out this band, check out the music on here, check out his vocals. It's pretty amazing. And it's their most famous song. So let's see if you guys know it. We're going to fast forward a little bit after that to when they released a live album, Live at the Marquee in London, released in 1993, their first live album. It was an import only in the United States. We had to get it from the UK. And boy, I'm glad we did, because when I played that, I was like, there's no way this can be live. How is this them live? And so you have to hear the Pull Me Under live at the Marquee, which is your song of the day, and you'll be like, wow, I cannot believe that's live as well. This CD also features a song called Bombay Vindaloo, which has only been performed as an instrumental. It's only been performed 6 times live ever by them, and it was never recorded in the studio, so that is of note. Also of note, they did release a record that was called Live, a live album, Live Scenes from New York. In case you've never heard this story before, it was released on 9/11/01, and it was called Live Scenes from New York, and the album depicted the New York City skyline, including the World Trade Center in flames. It was released at 10 o'clock on that day. It was at obviously the record stores. If you didn't know this, record stores would usually have releases drop shipped by UPS the morning of a release so that people wouldn't release it early. You might get it a day early, but usually it came the morning of. So by 10 o'clock, the stores had them, and by the time everyone had figured it out, it was recalled, and very few copies of that were actually released, and they re-released it with a different cover on it. Okay, back to Pull Me Under. Again, this is a great song. Tell me if you know Dream Theater. I know there's fans out there. I know who you are. But this song is amazing. If you don't know it, listen to it. Check out this live version and tell me what you think. It's good stuff. All right. Enjoy it. Have a good day. Dream Theater. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.